MOHAI exhibit reveals a sweeping swath of roles and purposes for the U.S. flag. What events today bring out more than 50,000 people in our city? Certainly seafair parades and hydro races, pro football and soccer too. On Independence Day 1920, a Central Labor Council-sponsored Pageant of Democracy at Woodland Park hit that mark. From downtown, celebrants paraded to today's North Seattle Zoo site, where patriotic reenactments featured actors from 19 cultures, from indigenous to Greek, with nighttime fireworks at nearby Green Lake. The afternoon spectacle was intentionally over the top, given the recent flu epidemic and end of World War I, plus tensions lingering from the 1919 Seattle General Strike. One element was ubiquitous, the U.S. flag. From downtown buildings, myriad American flags fluttered in the breeze while the crowds that lined the streets and parks wore knots and ribbons of the national colors, reported the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. This weekend, as the country reaches 250 years since the Declaration of Independence, the Museum of History and Industry opens an ambitious, layered, flag-focused exhibit for which it stands, aptly referencing the Pledge of Allegiance. There's pride, and there's protest, and there's reverence, and there's belonging, and honoring sacrifice, and carrying forward America's ideals. All these different ways that people have used the flag, says Michaela Woodward, the museum's curator of exhibits and engagement. We want to give people that range to think about and put themselves into it. Examples in the exhibit abound. A flag from the Boys in the Boat, U.S. men's crew that triumphed at the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin. A photo of a mother holding the burial flag of her son, a Japanese-American Nisei soldier who died in Europe during World War II while relatives were incarcerated in America. It's about expressing loyalty and sacrifice to the nation, Woodward says, even when it's mistreating you and your family. A flag borrowed from the volunteer Oso Fire Department, uncovered in the town's catastrophic 2014 mudslide. It became this symbol of hope and the community coming together, Woodward says, to keep looking and finding people and heal and carry on. A flag flown upside down in the Capitol Hill occupied protest CHOP zone in 2020 with spray-painted words love and rage. The exhibit includes places for reflection and interaction. It asks visitors to finish the sentence, I pledge allegiance to. The hope is to spur universal introspection. It makes you feel different if you're carrying a flag, Woodward says. You think about how you're representing something, you're expressing something, you're connecting yourself to a place or a group or a statement, and what it really means to you. In our first then photo, topped and backed by 48-star U.S. flags, 7 women display messaged pennants during a pageant of democracy staged on July 4th, 1920 for 50,000 people on Woodland Park's Great Lawn, part of a 1908 design by the Massachusetts-based Olmsted Brothers. In another tableau, women spelled out, for all humanity. We are dramatizing the ideals for which we are suffering, said the sponsoring Central Labor Council. Today, the site is part of Woodland Park Zoo's African Savanna and North Meadow. In our second then photo, Herman K. Johns Jr. left and Billy Frank Jr. raise a 50-star U.S. flag on January 21, 1964. To symbolize treaty rights promised in 1854 for the Nisqually tribe at Frank's Landing on the Nisqually River. A court order had banned the tribe's fishing. The flag was the burial flag of John's father, a paratrooper who died in Belgium during World War II. Fish-ins continued through the 1960s and 70s. In our third then photo, following the June 6, 1889 Great Seattle Fire, the tented Jewel Saloon, below a 38-star U.S. flag, rises from ashes along Yesler Way between today's First and Occidental Avenues. The revival was short-lived as the business sought a new owner in December. And in our last then photo, in For Which It Stands, which runs through November 16th, among flags on display is this 50-star miniature carried by mountaineer Jim Whittaker on May 1, 1963, when he became the first American to summit Mount Everest. The exhibit is part of MOHAI's America 250 observance, including a Freedom Plane document display from July 30th to August 16th. For more info, visit mohai.org. And today, in West Woodland Park near the 1920 Pageant site, are Michaela Woodward, MOHAI Curator of Exhibits and Engagement, displaying the current 50-star American flag, along with 7 volunteers for the Seattle Lady Liberty Project. From left, Kate Smith, Judith Pyle, Shira Brewer, Ariel Rathbun, Karen Schneider, Shan Cretin, and Devora Kost, holding up signs and fists. For more info on the project, visit ladylibertyproject.com.